Welcome to Avionte Connect. I'm Adam Day, President and CEO of Timerack. We're excited to be joining the Avionte Partner Network this summer and have already released and launched customers on both Bold and Classic on the integration between Avionte and Timerack. Over the next 30 minutes, we're going to take a look at some of the features and benefits of the Timerack solution, as well as the integration and efficiencies that you get out of the integration with Avionte. So join us virtually for the next 30 minutes as we take a stroll through Timerack. Timerack is a time and labor management system developed over 10 years ago by staffing industry veterans. You could say the staffing industry is baked into our DNA. Staffing agencies represent over 65% of our client base. Over those years, Timerack has served hundreds and thousands of employees across thousands of employers. I and a group of investors acquired Timerack in May of 2020, right in the height of COVID. Perfect timing, right? Well, we thought so too. So the pandemic accelerated shifts in the way employers and employees work. The pandemic did not create these shifts, mind you, but they've been in play for years, but did break the molds because employers had to recreate themselves nearly overnight to serve their employees and their customers or risk going out of business. And then unfortunately, many businesses did not survive this pandemic. Originally founded in Corona, California, we have now moved the headquarters to Raleigh, North Carolina, but we've remained invested in the Southern California area with the team that we acquired. They're the lifeline to our client base. And you know who they are if you're a client of ours because you know them by name and you love working with them. We also have a team of 15 in India, Hyderabad, that supports our development efforts and we've worked with for years collectively on other organizations. So we're poised to present a solid solution for our client base. And the way we do that is we follow three tenets internally. It's served me personally in my life, but it's also been something I've tried to incorporate into the businesses I've been a part of. Those are three key items that we all live to strive to live by. Listen, adapt, and serve. We listen to our clients, we listen to our employees, we listen to our families. We adapt to our business environment, COVID, taxes, weather-related items. We adapt our business models to accommodate today's business requirements. We build those solutions and then turn around and serve our clients. In many cases, the staffing agencies are our clients. In many cases, the employers are our clients. But we do it with a servant's heart so that we are giving back to those industries, those businesses, so that they can fulfill the needs of their employees and be paid correctly and efficiently and allow them a work-life harmony balance through our services. So every request we get, every product, bug, enhancement, we try to run that through those three, and if they all align, they're a perfect fit for us. But what we always do is come back to those three tenets, and typically the adapt is where companies thrive and survive. So with that, we're going to take just a break and take a look at the software in just a minute, and also explain a little bit more why Timerack and Avionte are such a great fit, because there are many options out in the field. There are many vendors who fill time and labor space, but there are very few that actually focus on the staffing industry. And so with that, stay tuned and I'll be right back. Thanks. Welcome back. Well, before we jump into the application itself, we want to talk a little bit about the problems we solve and what we've seen in the staffing industry. Automation is a challenge, but implementing it actually improves client, employee, and staff retention. Everybody wants to feel like they're being paid accurately. You want your company to bill accurately, improve efficiency. You have to do this through a various number of ways of collecting data because you have different types of employees, you have different types of clients. So you need to be able to collect data via the web, mobile, traditional terminals on the wall using proximity badge, PIN entry, biometrics, facial recognition, fingerprint. and have the options in front of you to not have a solution per option, but have an all-encompassing solution. And that's where we come into play. We understand your industry is unique. We all have sales processes. Your sales process is courting a customer, and you might be the primary, you might be a secondary provider. You get that call on Friday and they say, you want your shot, have us 15 people on Monday. You've got to be able to provide and fulfill those orders on demand and have a system and a partner that understands that business model and is partnered alongside with you. And that's where we fill the gap, because our services provide that efficiency, speed to market, and accuracy. So, but why do people trust us? There's a lot of vendors out there. And why Avionte got involved with us, there are a few key items we can discuss. Primarily, looking at this, our ease of implementation and use. The training for users is low. The value that we provide from a cost perspective, many cases, if you actually sat down and did the ROI, and we will be happy to do these with you based upon the number of employees, our systems are free. They're free in the value that by applying your rules in an automated fashion using our rules engine, the cost savings and accuracy and efficiency that you gain from the employee punches, the payroll process, and the decreased amount of payroll reruns, those savings typically pay for the system many times over in the year. I mean, labor costs being 2 to 4% decreased is pretty conservative, and if you look at the average size of staffing agencies' payroll budgets, that's a lot of money. And we're here to help you with those processes and add that efficiency. Our solution is really focused at creating work-life harmony, efficiency, control, accuracy of your pay bill. We do that by simplifying the complex through technology and human touch. And we try to do that by creating opportunities, and by us doing that, actually, I should say, is creating opportunities for our employees, your customers, and their employees. There's an entire ecosystem that we serve alongside you as the agency. We view ourselves as an extension of your organization. Now, while we have the application and the rules engine, we have to be able to collect the data. And we have several options, and there's a couple we're pretty excited about, and we're going to kind of announce sort of on here, so you're going to be first to hear it in the public space. We have mobile, we have facial recognition, we have our workhorse 905s. It's in a lot of our light industrial manufacturing where it's pen entry, fingerprint, badge, Wi-Fi, PoE, that's power over Ethernet for you non-geeks, and it's one device. Does it all. You don't have to worry about ordering this device or that device and moving it from here or there. You can mix and match all the same. What we are also releasing, and we're really excited about, is our new IntelliPunch kiosk. And that is where we have taken feedback from agencies like yourselves, said, how do we mitigate training at the clocks? I was on site at a client's site a few weeks ago here in North Carolina, and I watched them train, and it hit me that while we train a traditional client, it takes them a week or two to get trained, and once the training is completed, everyone knows how to operate the system, and it's pretty straightforward. In your world, you could have upwards of 50% new employees every night that you spend time training and onboarding. Well, that's not very scalable or efficient. You're worried about filling orders, and your client is looking for you to have people on the floor. So our goal is, we went back to the shop, broke it down and said, how do we make this process easier and mitigate the training required for employees? Our goal was to allow an on-site manager with the integration working in the background to be able to tell an employee, hey, look, take a PIN number, and we're defaulting to the last four social out of Avionte. You go to the clock will do the rest for you. So what we wanted to do was navigate the employee through the punch process. And we're going to take a look at that a little bit later in the breakout session and see it in action. We're really excited about this because if anybody should know what the employee's next punch or event should be, it's us. So why take the traditional approach and show them all the buttons all the time when we know what their options should be? And not to mention, with those assignments that control your pay and bill, we only want employees punching on open active assignments. So you're going to see that later. So this is the introduction of IntelliPunch in our kiosk. We'll be rolling out an additional terminal later this year that will add the IntelliPunch with facial recognition, QR code recognition, fingerprint, badge, and PIN. And you say QR code, why is that of interest to us? Well, here's what we're thinking about. And it may be for everybody, it may not be. But what if I, as your employee, were assigned to an order today? I wake up and on my phone, I have my assignment, my location where I'm supposed to be. I have a QR code that I'd simply walk up to the clock, present my QR code, it punches me in onto the proper assignment, validates me because it's my device, and I'm off and on my way. I never touch the clock. That's where we want to move toward. This mobile environment will eventually replace terminals. And we'll see how it goes. We're dependent upon your feedback to help you know your industry best and how it changes. Our jobs, that third tenet, is to serve you and adapt while listening to you. See how this all ties into an ecosystem? We're excited to run alongside of you. So we'll show you that in just a few minutes. We also have a new mobile app that'll be coming out later this month. Actually, by the time this is presenting, we're in beta right now. So we're excited about rolling these devices out and getting them in the hands of users on a regular basis. So how does your business stack up? Average employers are looking to always automate and save time and money. But forward thinkers try to incorporate user engagement, gamification, ease of use, mitigate training. And then best of class, if you tie all of those items together in automation, better reporting, tools that allow you to compete, that attracts talent. And talent turns into profitability. And profitability turns into customer satisfaction and client satisfaction. Your profitability is actually driven by less turnover in filling orders, which drives that. So sometimes people turn satisfaction and offset it against profitability, but there is a correlation. And it can be a negative correlation also. So, a couple Timerack benefits. The time and labor management we've discussed, but really why we're here and partnered with Avionte is our dedication to the staffing industry and assignment development. Assignments are not an easy thing to incorporate, as we've learned, and we're in V1 and it's going well, and we are learning every day and implementing more. So with your feedback, we can make assignments an integral part of our daily process at Timerack, and we're dedicated to fulfilling that need. So with that, we have just a few takeaways before we get into the integration and demo of the product. We're here, that data collection, labor allocation, system integration, those are all about improving your data that you're working with. Reliability of data, accuracy of data, minimizing the amount of effort duplicating data. And then we deliver these time tracking tools. And then define staff engagement. We automate the payroll process, focus on retention and recruiting. Those are your jobs. You're filling those assignments. Let us do the work of how to get employees punched onto terminals and into the system. And we will provide the tools to do that in the fastest, most efficient way that we can to serve you. One of the things you'll notice on a little footnote down here, and we call out occasionally, but we don't tout our real horns because everybody says they have service. So our technical support services, we did some studies and we answer our calls 95% of the time. You get a live person and not in voicemail. And that's really actually 96.3, but marketing, we rounded down. It might change day to day. Every account manager is assigned to an agency. So when you come on board, you have a dedicated person that's going to help make sure you're navigated properly through implementation, new clients onboarded, and we walk you through the process. We're here to serve you. So when you have a client, bounce ideas off of us. They don't have to be, we're not just to be order takers. How do we accommodate this client's needs? What is a special case rule? We're open to development. So with all that being said, let's take a look at the integration between Avionte and Timerack, which is really what's brought us here today, and we're excited about rolling out and working with. So we've talked about the assignment component. So Avionte has built a file, and this works for both bold and classic agencies. On 45 minutes after each hour, Avionte sends a file to Timerack via secure FTP. We process that file for employee data, updates, assignments, and updated assignments. As soon as those assignments are in, employees are able to transfer, punch in on assignments. You do your normal time card editing and managing during the week. At the end of the week, when it's time for payroll, or the following week for the prior week, you come into our payroll report engine, which we'll take a look at in just a few moments. Generate a file, export it, and import it into Avionte. Payroll's done. Manual entry is eliminated, and efficiency is increased. Now, once imported into Avionte, you have full, complete control to make updated edits, changes, etc. What we do ask for your protection and liability. If there are significant edits, we recommend making those changes in Timerack too, so that 2 years from now, should an employee event arise, your systems match and there's history as to what has occurred. Because employer records need to be kept for several years. So anything significant, I would keep them in sync as much as possible. So with that, we're going to take a dive into the application, so bear with us just a minute and we'll be right back. It's now time to see IntelliPunch. We have this out in the field with some beta test clients, but we're now excited to roll it out and take a look at what we have to offer. This is the tool that allows to mitigate training at the clocks and allows on-site managers to give an employee a PIN number, and by default we use the last four of social, because we want a number that they don't have any reason to say they couldn't remember or forgot or didn't know. So there will be changes or chances that people have duplicates. You can manage those in Timerack, and ongoing it won't be an issue from an import perspective, but we do start out or try to with the last four social. So I'm going to log in because my on-site manager has simply given me the number I need to know and says go to the clock and punch. Key in your number and hit the green arrow. It says, "Hi Latasha, good to see you. Would you like to punch?" I'm going to say yes. The system shows me my two open assignments, and I'm going to say I'm going to punch in as mail processor, Grove City. Done. I'm in and I'm on my active assignment. So now, let's say I come back to the clock. It's been a couple hours. And I'm going to come back up and it says, "Hey, how can I serve you? Are you transferring jobs, going to lunch, or punching out?" I'm going to say transfer jobs. Now it knows where I'm currently in a mail processor, but it says, "Hey, you can also go to sort process." So now I've transferred into sort process, and it gives me my time spent in my prior assignment. So I know my hours are being calculated. Now, let's say I come back. It's time for lunch. 5943. So simple. I'm going to go to lunch. It says, "Enjoy your lunch. Here's your punch out time." And it logs me out. Something I also want to show is we also support Spanish. So English and Spanish out of the gate. Later this quarter, we will be assigning it to the employee. So by default, after they key in their PIN number, it will present the preferred language of the employee. And are you going to lunch? Yes. I'm sorry, I'm back from lunch. And it punches me out. And then at the end of the day, I key in my PIN and I punch out, and it says, "Have a great day," and it gives me my work total for the day. Nothing to train, self-navigating, artificial intelligence. We learn based upon the employee's patterns how these punches roll. So we're excited that you get to participate in IntelliPunch and be the first to have a smart terminal on the wall that works for you and acts like an on-site manager that doesn't get tired, doesn't call in. It just helps navigate the employee's day. Now, the other item that'll be coming, we hope to see in Q4, will be a terminal similar, running the same application. However, it will provide for facial recognition, fingerprint, thumb, and QR code, which I described earlier. So, very exciting, new cutting edge. Thanks. We'll see you shortly. We're going to actually move on into software for a minute. So lastly, we're at the final stage for this virtual breakout tour. We're actually logging into the Timerack application to see how it helps manage our business. So what you'll find is we're currently looking at the system. We're on our landing page, our dashboard. When we first log in, this is where everybody comes to. And it does some pretty cool things for us. On the dashboard, I can quickly see at a glance anybody that's at lunch, number of people currently punched in, and punches are up to date within a minute. So it gives me a good active count of employees, for one, from a safety perspective, but also just in general, how many people are shabbing on the floor. I have quick links on the left. You'll see in the upper left-hand corner are assignments. This is where imports occur. And if there are any conflicts with policies, card numbers, etc., you manage those through this view assignments. Then we have quick lists to get to employees, time card, reports, payroll extract, and sometimes, yes, you need support, be it help, be it issue, whatever. We're just a click away. We're part of your team. Another key feature of our system are the alerts. We have over 25, 30 alerts that can assist in managing your employees, from absences, missing punches, tardies, long lunch, short lunch, meal penalties. For those that are in California, the meal penalty calculation. These all give you items at a glance. On the right side, if you have clocks, we actually have clock statuses available to show you that they're online. So let's just dig in and we'll just kind of work quickly through the list just to give you a quick flyover and taste of the Timerack system. Let's click Employees. Employees has a lot of data. Now, from the Avionte integration, we're importing only about 8 to 10 fields. Name, hire date, card number, employee number. The employee number is what governs the payroll interaction. So this is critical in making sure that you have the same Avionte number. In case you set up employees in Timerack, make sure the employee ID matches to Avionte, or you'll get a duplicate employee. When it flows over to payroll, it won't match. We have clock management, and most of the information flows over and you don't manage it much. What is of interest is going to the Assignments tab. These are the assignments that load from Avionte. The assignments actually get assigned to our cost levels too, so you get reporting in assignment and cost center level. You're able to edit these if you need to for VMS purposes. You can assign a different assignment ID if it's heading to a partnership like with Vendly or another VMS provider. Or if you want to reassign where this assignment gets allocated to in our system. We import pay rate, bill rate, start date, end date, and code. You'll notice that these fields are read-only. I can't edit them. That's because Avionte import is controlling them. Now, I have the ability to add manual assignments. Maybe if I have duplicate systems, if I'm in transition and I need to get going. But if I want them to work with Avionte, I need to either let Avionte populate them, or if I key them ahead of the next synchronization, make sure that I use the assignment ID in Avionte so that they match. Otherwise, when punches come in, they're applied. Like we saw in the IntelliPunch kiosk a moment ago, we can transfer between multiple open assignments. So by default, I can just filter by assignment. This one is inactive because it's got an end date, and punches can only be. But navigating around our application is easy. Along the top, you can scroll between employees. On the right side, you can drop down. And then there's also several types of search options, from active, inactive, first, last name, and employee ID, and advanced options by any policy, department, client or level. We actually have 5 cost center levels you manage that you name. So in this account, they happen to name level 1 client, 2 department, and 3 job description. So it's easy to manipulate and manage. From there, I can go over to time card. And on the time card is where all the punches and the magic happens, if you will. So at a glance, I can see the employees' punches coming in and out, when they punch for lunch, and if they have any missing assignments or alerts, I get a little flag here. So I can say view alerts, and it will tell me that this lunch not taken before limit based upon the rules. And I can insert a note, or I can override it and clear it out and work through my alerts. So the goal is to have all greens and clean up all my alerts. Editing is very easy. Edit time card, you see your punches, you can change the times, the allocations, the assignments, all on a quick view. And then there's a time card log that shows you any changes that have been made to an employee's time card. What it was, who changed it, and when. We have scheduling, we have alerts, we have mass update. Maybe the plant shut down and we needed to punch everybody out at 4 o'clock. Well, I don't want to go through every individual employee, so I can pick groups of employees, submit a punch, and it'll punch everybody out at once. Or I need to move everybody that's on a particular department to another shift, or vice versa. So there's ways to work in mass with the employees. Our reports are also very key. We have different groupings of reports. You can generate some invoice type reports. Some of our smaller agencies use this as an offset or an additional report for clients. Obviously, Avionte Back Office, Bold, or Classic provides all of this, so it's not really necessary. It's supplemental and easy to use. Different reports can be run. All reports can be run and scheduled. So you might want a daily time card report emailed at 8 a.m. every day to your on-site manager, filtered for the groups you want. You can build the report, schedule it to be emailed, and managed on a daily basis. How awesome is that? I don't have to log in. Let's make the system work for us. I can also see my clocks online, and you can see we have various different reports and categories down the side. All the reports, or most reports, can be generated to Excel, CSV, PDF, and the like for normal writing or working with that data. Typically, when you export to Excel, it exports the formatting, but if you're going to do it for data purposes, you export it as CSV, which removes all formatting, and you just get the raw data to work with. Settings are straightforward. We handle most of your settings for you in many cases, but some agencies, because of their turnover or growth, like to manage their own sites, so we will train the trainer and allow you to manage this. But it's on your call. We're an extension of your group, as I've mentioned several times in this breakout, so we're here to help. So this is a quick flyover. We'd love to speak with you more and schedule a demo and show you how this all works together. The last thing I forgot to show you is the payroll extract. Payroll extract is an additional report that we save. So each week you export this report for Avionte. You'll see the employees that are included or can be included. You can filter by groups, save the file, and import it into Avionte. Very straightforward. 2 clicks out of our system. It can also be emailed off if you have a payroll manager that centralizes everything. And we can do that for you. So, once again, this is a quick flyover of Timerack. We'd love to spend a more dedicated time with the clients, yourself, and show you what we can do for your business. Thank you, and we're going to kick it back to the presentation. So, be right back. Tell us how we did. We've enjoyed this time with you today. Open the Bizabo app or Connect 2021 website. Select the Agenda tab from the main menu. Locate the session in the agenda and click on the session title. Rate the session 0 to 5 hearts, and scroll on the bottom and click to take the poll to leave comments. We want good comments. We want negative comments. We just want comments. So we look forward to partnering with you, and thank you.